Just to get back to the beginning of the program, every time I listen to the sheriff sort of open something up and he gets into that groove he gets into, I always feel if I have a chance to get to the podium that I have to say thank you very much. Sheriff Steve Tompkins! So I'm very interested in hearing what Tyler and the DA have to say, so I'm going to be mercifully brief here. But let me just say a couple things. One is that Molly talked about the largest Pay for Success program in the country that's currently going on between Roca and the Commonwealth of Mass and a variety of independent investors. She said it was risky, and it certainly is risky, okay? But the thing everybody needs to remember here is Roca's been at this for a really long time, and Molly's been at it for a very long time. And over the course of that time, Molly's made and Roca has made a series of decisions to get way past what I would call being well motivated and getting into the space of really using data in a very strategic and tactical way. And while there is certainly risk attached to this initiative, and while it is certainly the largest one of its kind anywhere in the country, one of the ways we all know that you mitigate risk is by working with people who have a proven track record of success in whatever their chosen field of endeavor is. And in this particular case, the Commonwealth and others are working with an organization that has a proven track record of success in an extraordinarily difficult field. So yeah, there's risk in this, but I think in some ways, I can't think of a better partner to engage in the largest Pay for Success program in the United States than for the Commonwealth to be working with Roca. The second thing I want to mention is, so the Commonwealth's been going through a process of redefining the way we do business at our registry of motor vehicles. Now that may sound like a funny thing for me to bring up at an event like this. However, as part of that initiative, we go from branch to branch to branch, and we reconfigure the branches and redesign them, and that requires us to do a ton of work. What I would describe as sort of modest construction work, as well as a ton of reorganizing, painting and other sorts of things to the branch offices so that they can play under the new rules and the new process that we've been putting in place as we've gone from one to the next to the next. There are 34 in all. And when we were looking for somebody to partner with to do the work associated with reconfiguring and redesigning the office in Springfield, we picked Roca. And the folks from Roca came in and did a spectacular job, and that won't be the last time that we ask them to come help us do some of this work. And I think it's important for us, those of us who can serve as employers and contractors, to remember Roca when we're looking for folks to help us do some of the work that we need to do in our communities. They can be an enormously successful and terrific ally in helping us do the work that we need to do, and at the same time give many of these young men an opportunity to participate more fully and fruitfully in opportunities in our communities. So I'm here to say, as somebody who is a paying customer of Roca and the folks who work with Roca, to say that we are a very satisfied paying customer, and I would urge all the other employers in this room, and I know there are many of you, when you have something you need done, you should start by making sure you connect with Roca and see if what you have in mind is something that they can do. The two other things I just want to mention quickly. One is working with the Speaker of the House and the Senate President and the Chief Justice of the SJC. Massachusetts is currently embarked on a Justice Reinvestment Institute initiative with the Council of State Governments around mostly focused on reentry and criminal justice reform, what I would describe as how do we deal with the recidivism problem, which is a huge issue not just for us, but for many others as well. But it is something that the Commonwealth danced around doing for the better part of 4 or 5 years, and I'm pleased to say that after 4 or 5 years of this, the Speaker, the Senate President, our administration, and the Chief Justice were able to sign the CSG up to work on this. They've done work in about 34 states. And one of the things I admire most about them is when they come talk to you about initiatives you could pursue to improve the quality of your criminal justice system, they don't talk in theory, because they've done this now in 34 states. So they're in a position to speak from practical experience, real knowledge, and longitudinal evidence with respect to what's worked and what hasn't. And I can tell you this, we are all enormously excited about the possibilities and the opportunities that this can bring to the Commonwealth of Mass to help us do a much better job of serving the community generally, and especially serving those folks who are looking to find a path to a better life and more purpose and a better future. The other thing I just want to mention briefly is I visited last week with the sheriff the first school that's ever been put in place anywhere inside the Commonwealth's correctional system. We were having a conversation with some folks about a year ago and talking about the fact that we have all kinds of issues with the folks who are served by our correctional system, but one of the biggest ones is illiteracy, and we don't talk about it that much, but it's a huge factor in helping people find their way out of the correctional system and into positive employment and a positive future. And there's never been a school of any kind set up inside the 4 walls of any correctional facility in the Commonwealth of Mass. But we decided to set one up just to see what would happen. Would anybody be interested in it? Could we put a curriculum together? Would that curriculum make any sense? Would people stay? Would people keep coming? And we're currently working with what I would describe as our first class, and we've learned a number of interesting things. One is they come there from a whole variety of different levels. Some are reading at a 3rd grade level, some are reading at a 7th grade level, an 8th grade level, et cetera. But the goal here is to get all of them their high school equivalency, and then through a relationship we've established with Bunker Hill Community College and Roxbury Community College to give them an opportunity once they get their high school equivalency. They want to go on and pursue an associate's degree with RoxComp or with Bunker Hill. They'll be able to do that. And it's a full-day, 6-day-a-week program. It also involves some vocational and technical training that goes with it. And the idea here is to immerse them in this program and basically make it impossible for them to miss it. And Steve and I and some others went out and met with both the instructors who are teaching the program as well as with the students who are in the program to talk to them about how they think it's going and what they think the opportunity and the benefit is. And if you listen to the men who are taking this program and participating in it and throwing themselves into it with everything they've got, and appreciating for the first time for many of them that they have a chance to create a path forward that's going to take them to a place they would like to go but never knew how to get there, you simply end up walking out of there and saying to yourself, why did it take so long for us to get around to creating a program like this? And the one final thing I just want to say is that I actually believe there's a growing consensus about this across every level of the correctional and judicial system, and I would argue the public policy making environment as well. I don't know how it works in every state, but I can tell you here in Massachusetts, it feels to me like there's a real sensibility at this point about the way this needs to work and where we need to go, and the fact that we have to get a lot smarter and a lot better about helping people find pathways into productive life and pathways with purpose, and that there are a key set of elements that that create that sort of success. And I'm actually pretty excited about where this can all go over the course of the next few years. I think in some respects it's probably been a long time in coming, and people like Molly probably feel like they've been beating their head against the wall for years and years and years without necessarily getting the sort of response that they might have liked. But I think there's tremendous opportunity. I think there's a ton of consensus about this, and I actually believe that we are on the brink of something really big, and I'm thrilled to be here in Massachusetts and to be able to be part of that. Thank you very much.